My name is Stephen MacPhail. I'm a researcher at the Italian National Agency for New Technologies, Energy and Sustainable Economic Development, or ENEA, where I run the laboratory for characterization of high-temperature fuel cells and electrolyzers. These are devices that are fundamental in the transition towards a more efficient, a more flexible, and a better integrated energy system. Besides running projects in this laboratory since 2007, I have been an active member in a number of umbrella organizations internationally. The IEC, developing standards for fuel cells, the International Energy Agency, where I represent Italy on advanced fuel cells, in the European Energy Research Alliance, where I coordinate the joint program for fuel cells and hydrogen, but above all in the European platform, the Fuel Cells and Hydrogen Joint Undertaking, which has been the most influential in terms of the development and the deployment, also commercial deployment, of fuel cells and hydrogen technologies in Europe. I'm therefore very excited that the region of Lazio, through the Smart High Aware project, aims to take stock of the initiatives that have been rolling out in Europe in the last 5 to 10 years and bring itself to par with the best practices as regards hydrogen mobility in Europe. So, which have been the best examples so far I would recommend to observe? Certainly the city of Hamburg in Germany and London in the UK have been leading the way in terms of hydrogen mobility through fuel cell buses that have been operating in the inner city now for more than 5 years with great success. Also in the UK is the project Big Hit on the Orkney Islands, which is one of the first examples of a so-called hydrogen valley, where hydrogen acts as a hub between numerous sources of renewable energy and numerous end users of the energy through hydrogen that integrate the energy and the social community on the island there. The concept of these hydrogen valleys is now taking rapid foothold in Europe, especially in the north and especially in the Netherlands. I'm thinking of the port of Rotterdam and the port of Delfzijl in the north of the Netherlands, where massive amounts of renewable energies are now being stored in hydrogen, distributed also through the natural gas grid, and used in a number of sectors and applications in the industrial, commercial and residential sectors. Further south, in Paris, now there are already more than 100 taxis running on hydrogen in the streets of the French capital, and this number is set to increase to 600 by the end of this year, 2020. Within the Italian confines, certainly it's Bolzano is the best example in terms of hydrogen deployment for mobility, where a hydrogen refueling station has been placed right on the motorway servicing Bolzano, fueling up to 12, I believe, fuel cell buses now in the city of Bolzano, and a fleet of 15 hydrogen cars. Other hydrogen refueling stations in Italy are in Sanremo, servicing 3 fuel cell buses, and in Milano, at the headquarters of the main Italian oil and gas company, ENI. In the region of Lazio, the opportunities for hydrogen mobility are still largely unexplored. However, in ENEA, the research center where I work, we have certainly contributed to the maturing of this technology by developing a number of prototypes, light vehicles, a hydrogen bicycle, small fuel cell battery hybrid vehicles, and also a small hydrogen boat that has been demonstrated here on the lake of Bracciano. However, one of the most interesting ideas that ENEA is developing towards the further awareness of this concept and the role that hydrogen can provide is the utilization of the infrastructures of the research center, which hosts up to 1,000 researchers, which are transported via many minibuses and shuttle buses within the center and outside. And it also has its own electric power grid and even a distribution and an autonomous distribution grid of natural gas. So it is the intention of ENEA to integrate these networks and testing hydrogen in a number of different sites. And one of these sites would be a small hydrogen refueling station, which could power one of these or more of these minibuses circulating within and outside the research center. This is a large project which we hope to realize during the course also of Smart Highware. And it shows that ENEA is set to contribute significantly and proactively to the mission of the region of Lazio towards modernizing mobility by increasing renewable energy sources utilization, decreasing local emissions of harmful pollutants, and integrating hydrogen within the very fabric of economic development in the region of Lazio.